We are still hearing from doctors and nurses about this shortage. When exactly can they expect to receive these masks, though?
Well, let me let Pete Gaynor speak to that, because FEMA will be, HHS is now fully integrated into FEMA, and so as the requests come in, but obviously, as I'm sure the administrator will say, they're being prioritized to those areas with the highest need.
Yes, sir.
Pete?
So within the National Coordination Center, we have a supply chain task force. And in basic sense, we're trying to identify the universe of what's out there. So whether we hold it at the federal level, we hold it in the private sector, and then match that up with demand and asking people to be creative. We're asking, again, this is a shared responsibility. We're asking locals and states to do your share locally, try to take a little bit of burden off of us, and then we'll prioritize those scarce resources, because every single governor across the country is looking for the exact same thing. So there's a balance, but we're examining the entire supply chain to make sure that we make
masks start coming in.
They're out there now. So again, we want to match. We want to get out of the middle, I think.
I appreciate it. Yeah, that's what I like to know.
So we're trying to match suppliers with demand. So that's what we're doing right now. It's happening today.
They can expect them to do, or they're matching supply and demand.
There's a range of requests across the country, and we're trying to match those, again, supply and demand every day.
Through the task force.
We have a lot have already come in. I have to tell you, the throwing away of the mask, being in private business, the throwing away of the mask right away, they're thrown away. And when you hear 55 million masks, or what I'm saying, 55 million, how could it possibly be such a number? They say, oh, that's just a small fraction of what we need. And I said, why aren't we sanitizing masks? You know, you look at the masks, I've looked at all the different masks. Some don't lend themselves to doing that, I think, but many do. And I said, why aren't we have very good liquids for doing this, sanitizing the masks. And that's something they're starting to do more and more. They're sanitizing the masks, and I don't know if anybody would like to speak to that.
We issue
You might want to just...
Yeah, there are CDC guidances about how you can minimize the use of masks by different things that you could do with testing, and when you have masks, how you might reuse them, which ones you can reuse them.
Do you think there's a solution to this other than buying more masks? Do healthcare providers need to change how they're using them?
Yeah, well, there are a couple of things. One, for example, we are moving towards getting testing where you don't have to have PPE. I mean, I'm not going to tell you the day it's going to be there, but it's going to be a swab that you could stick in the nose of the person who is either infected or not, but that person doesn't need PPE, the person who's administering the test. So if you could do a self-administered test, stick it in a vial, hand it over, you don't need a mask, you don't need PPE. That's one of the things we're trying to do.
I would have liked that much better. Personally, yeah, go ahead.